Okay, let's get started. So today I'm going to discuss some important points and I hope you will try to note it down and it will work, inshallah, when you try to focus on these things, inshallah, together. Well, there are lots of people and they always come up with the different tips and tricks that you have to do this thing to while you are learning English. So I'm gonna tell you that while you're learning English, what should you not to do? It's like kind of a more important than what to do. So I'm gonna tell you by the numbers, inshallah, and we have 10 points to discuss about it. While you have any question, you may raise your hand, you may open up, you may unmute yourself, and you can just ask. We may discuss in a detail, inshallah. I love questions. If you have any question, you may ask right away. So there isn't any need to come up with the thing that we may discuss, inshallah, after the session. No, we have to, you may ask question right away. If you don't understand anything in like in any aspect or maybe in any language, I may translate it to you in yours, inshallah, the national language, inshallah. So we are going to discuss that uh, when we are learning English, and it's like important to be aware of the certain pitfalls that can hinder your progress. And we are discussing those things, and I'm going to start with the first. Focusing too much on grammar. These things, I'm like kind of 200% sure that if you will try to like remember these things every day, this is how you may improve your English. This is what we have done. This is the students of the English who are now perfect in speaking English. They kept these kind of points in their mind. So the first one is focusing too much on grammar. While grammar is important, as I think it's obvious. So obsessing, or you may say that you are possessive of those things, or you may taking it like it's kind of a too much tension for you, and it can, what will happen if you are thinking it into your mind, or it may burdenize yourself. It can slow down your learning. So what to do? Like it's better to learn grammar gradually as you practice speaking, listening, and writing on the same time. So don't burdenize yourself by thinking too much that, oh, have to go with the grammar. The grammars are so much important. Definitely grammar needs a lot of time to focus on it. But the teachers who really want to teach English in the future, they need to learn grammar. But uh, even for them, if they want to learn English, they want to speak English. So I'm going to tell you that don't focus on the grammar. You have to go wherever comes in your mind. So grammar is not a big deal for the beginners indeed. So once you will occupy it, you will be okay to know the ups and downs of the grammar. That there are lots of different points that we ignore them. We don't teach to our students that they will not be used in this language. So it's not a big deal. I hope you understand the point. There isn't a need to go in detail or dig in. So let's move on to the next point, and that is like being afraid to make mistakes. This is the major mistake in Pakistan, especially people. They always come up with the shy attitude, and they don't talk, they don't practice, they don't, they fear all the time. So fear of making mistakes can prevent you from practicing. So you will never gonna practice. And I told you before, I think everyone has a kind of a I think when you were a baby, the parents indulge, or they taught you in your minds that practice makes man perfect. So if you are not practicing anything, you are not learning that thing. So if you want to learn that, then you have to practice it. And the fear of making mistakes can prevent you from practicing. So mistakes are a natural part of learning, and each one is an opportunity to improve. So I do mistakes. I have seen lots of videos on a YouTube, the language instructor, how they have done like blenders of English. But on this, I was teaching some student. He was a teacher indeed, and he was about to come on a stage. And I said, when I was about to go to the stage, I said, don't be worried about your English, especially the mistakes, because only I will be the in the audience who may understand that where are you having mistakes. Otherwise, no one will understand what are you talking about. So go ahead. So he realized it and he rocked that thing that time. So it's not a big deal. I hope you understand that. It was so clear that being afraid to make mistakes, it's not a good idea. So fear of making mistakes can prevent you from practicing, right? So move on to the third one, translating everything. The very, very major thing to avoid. Like avoid translating everything from your native language. I told you several times that you don't need to translate it in your language of like Urdu, and then you may Pashto or maybe some other languages. Then try to make their structures together. So the especially we will talk about the native language, your Urdu. It has a different structure. It's like the opposite direction. So you will never like catch it. So avoid translating everything from your native language to English. This can create unnatural sentences. Instead of trying to think in English as much as possible, you should think in English. Start thinking in English. This is how you will start talking in English. If you will be just speaking a native language, or sorry, if you will be like translating everything in native language, and then from native language you will translate into the English, so it will create unnatural sentences, right? Even there are lots of you know sentences in Urdu in your native language that they are not in this way, that you have to translate directly to the English. It needs lots of work, and they have different meanings, right? So, for example, there is I think, Persian proverb, "Awal khowesh, baad darwesh," and it says a proverb in charity begins at home. So, you know, charity begins at home. What kind of word it is? So there is a like huge difference about it. So you will come up with an unnatural things. Okay, the next thing is neglecting pronunciation. Pronunciation is a key to being understood. Don't ignore it. We always come up with the mispronunciations of the word. And what will happen? Will make you more difficult to understand the person who was talking to you, because you were learning something that was like totally mispronounced. And this is how you were dealing with it. So the person who's talking with you, he may have a different pronunciation, the correct one maybe, and you have a like the wrong pronunciation. So you may be thinking in a negative way, or maybe another way. He is talking about something else, and you are thinking about something else. So pronunciation is a key to being understood. Don't ignore it, as a poor pronunciation can lead to the communication barriers. So if you are going to tell something to your to the person, so he may definitely not going to understand. So that's a major thing to understand, that we never ever going to neglect the pronunciation. You people have a lots of things to sort it out. For example, you have apps, you have a Google, even type a word and then type a means, like means means, and you will there comes a pronunciation, the meanings, the synonyms, the antonyms, the pronunciation, everything will be there. You may also have different dictionaries in your hand, like in your mobile phones. So it's not a big deal to correct your pronunciation. Even work on your details in the start. Once you done it, you will be fine, inshallah, in your pronunciation. Listen it again and again and try to copy it. There is another option in the Google that you may slow down the pronunciation. I hope lots of people have an idea like how to slow down the pronunciation. Even there are some lots of people who have pronounced these word in on YouTube. Yeah, you can search the word in YouTube as well. Type a word and then say pronunciations. They will let you know. Number 5. Okay, relying solely on a formal language. English has, as you know, English has a many informal expressions and slangs as well. If you only focus on the formal language, you might struggle in a cause conversation. That's like major things to understand. We Pakistani are struggling for that, but I hope that lots of people who are like started learning in the real way, they may understand it, inshallah. So internet stable, unstable.
Excuse me, sir, your point is not clear because your voice was not audible.
Which one? Sorry.
So fifth point.
Fifth. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes, sir, you are.
okay. The fifth point was yeah, relying solely on formal language. For example, relying solely on formal language can, for example, lead you to the awkward or kind of overly stiff communication, especially in a casual or you may say everyday situation. I'm going to give you an example. Formal, in a formal way, you may say, "Good morning. How do you do?" And informal, say, "Hi. How it's going?" It's like the formal, informal things to do. And in a, if you're going to deal with a request in a formal way, you will say that, "Would you be so kind as to provide me with the information?" If you need to get an information, an informal way, you can just say, "Can you send me that info?" So, like, you have to, English has a many informal expressions and slangs. If you only focus on a formal language, you might struggle it. Formal stuff. For example, the language of the clerical staff, they always come up with the different grammar stuff and long sentences and structures. So go with the informal. It's just fine. For example, if you are going to the agree with some statement, then you may say in a formal way, "I concur with your assessment." Better to say, "I agree with you," right? If you're going to invite somebody, so you may say, "Would you care to join us for a dinner this evening?" So in other way or in informal way, you may say, "Want to grab a dinner tonight?" Want to grab a dinner tonight? Like a direct question. Here comes another example. If you are going to give advice to somebody, and you may say, "It is advisable to consider alternative solutions." This is like the formal way. Go with the informal. "You should think about other options." So, or even you may say, "Yeah, if you want to say goodbye." So in a formal way, you may say, "I look forward to our next meeting, inshallah." And in an informal way, you may say, "See you later." That's done. If you need kind of a help, you may say, "Please allow me to be of assistance." So another way, you may say, "Let me help you out." So lots of people with they always get like kind of a bookish style. They read different like courses, books, and spoken English language courses, and they have different like lines and like the words and different meanings of those things, and so the people don't understand even what they are talking about. So this is how it's not gonna work. I hope that was clear. Or still, if my apologies. So yeah, if is there any ambiguity remaining, or should I move on?
No, sir, you should proceed.
Okay. Okay, so here comes number 6. Now, ignoring cultural context. Language and the culture are closely connected. Understanding cultural context can help you use English more effectively and avoid misunderstandings. You should ignore it, like the cultural context. They're differently. We Pakistani have a different culture, and the people out there in a and different like sorry, the English is from from Australia, from England, from America, from these things. So we can't adopt the things together. So ignore culture context when learning English. It it is like it's not that much easy, but in this sense, for example, that's the big thing, that if you are going to deal with the English, and English has different culture out there in different societies, they have different meanings about it. They have different idioms, they have different expressions. So according to me, I think I'm going to change my style of saying it. So better to learn it, better to understand the culture of that thing at the same time. If you're going to learn the Pashto, so I might learn the culture of the Pashtun people at the same time. This is how I may get a better understanding of the Pashto. Don't you think it sounds better now? So ignoring cultural context when learning English can lead to misunderstandings, like miscommunications, or even offending someone unintentionally sometime. Like cultural context includes the social norms, values, beliefs, and practice, and that influence how language is used and understood. So for example, you may say that if you hear someone say it is raining cats and dog, and you interpret or you may translate it in your own language, or maybe in your own way, like it literally, you will miss the cultural context, which means it's raining heavily. Or the cultural context is like the idioms and phrases with meanings that aren't obvious from the individual words. They often reflect cultural practices or historical references. Like cats and dogs are not like a rain, it
Yes,
never.
sir.
Sorry.
Sir, even the jokes are different. So if we translate our jokes into their language, then like it will be nothing for them.
That's a point, that's a point. Definitely, definitely, it's a good point. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
And I must share the thing that some body gestures, even, or you may say, yes, the gestures, they have different meanings. Like nodding your head up and down, it generally means yes. In the most English speaking countries, however, in some cultures, it might mean no, or have a different meaning. Like non-verbal communications can vary widely between cultures. So understanding gestures and body language is in English speaking context is important. So even the punctuations and the gender rules, different things out there, like the conversation topics and lots of other things to discuss about it. So I hope that point was clear. I'm audible because I'm hearing my voice back. I don't know why. It's like echo in my voice.
Yes, sir, a little bit.
Mm. Sayyida Narjis, would you please mute your microphone? Because I'm unable to mute you here from here. Why I don't have any? Okay. Oh, I hope it's better now. Maybe. Is it clear now? I hope so. Hello? I think I'm.
Yes, sir, it's
Oh,
clear.
okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I was saying about the culture, right? Cultural kind of a context. So let's move on to the number 7. Okay. So overloading yourself with new words. The people who are always have the good command and rote learning, they always go with this stuff. They gather lots of informations, the words. So trying to learn too much many new words at once can be overwhelming. So focus on your learning a few words at a time and using them in a context. This will help you out. Like you don't need to overloading or overload yourself with the new words. I think that was too easy to understand, right? Move on to the next one. Not practicing enough. Like consistent practice is essential for language learning. Don't expect to become a fluent without regular practice. I think this is how Pakistanis are dealing for nowadays. I have created almost 3 groups, and look at how many people are gathered today. And look at the group, how much active groups are they. No one is talking, no one having a conversation, no one is even asking question from me, as they are no they're not interested in learning languages, as I think that I am the only mad person that who want to teach the people. So they don't need it, even like they are forced to learn English. I don't know why. This
I am
is
interested.
sorry.
Sir, I am interested in learning English, so
My apologies. I never seen your interest in a group, and or and you never even ask a question. It's like maybe you have interest. Like if I gonna compare you, like comparatively, you have interest, but this is you. There are lots of things you need to learn. There are lots of questions that you need to ask. So you will miss the opportunity when I will get busy. I it's a kind of a fortunate for the people that they who have got this opportunity, that I have got a time for nowadays. Once I get busy, you may never ever get a chance to deal with this stuff. So yes, I'm gonna recommend you, whether you are interested or not, you should let the people know, let the teacher know at least that you are interested in it. You are trying very well for your area, for Parachanar especially. That's a good thing, but there are lots of things, as I told you before, that you need to learn. There are lots of things you need to focus on it. You lots of things you need to ask. Lots of questions are remaining. You are not asking. The ambiguities will come. Ambiguities will come, and they will kill you on that time when you will be facing these kind of issues. I know you will blame me on that time that Sarwal not teaching me, but it's it's like, if I'm talking with somebody and you are standing in front of me, and if you are not responding me very well, so how long I will talk? The thing is, how long I will take these sessions? So it's okay.
yes, you are right, sir.
Mm, it's okay. No. I always leave it. Okay, I'm trying to fulfill my duties, and it's up to you whether you're taking or not. It's up to you. Okay, move on to the next point. I think I have explained in depth, not practicing enough. Like you have to practice a lot. Like don't expect to become a fluent without regular practice. Okay, move on to the next one. 9. Skipping listening practice. Listening to native speakers is crucial. The people who have this language, or they're like it's mother tongue for them. If you listen to those people, you may get a bad understanding. You may get to know new things out there. You may be able to understand different norms, the values, the ethics, and different cultures, new things in it, the sentences. So I am going to recommend you that you need to listen to the native speakers, and it's so crucial. It helps you understand different accent and improves your comprehension. Like, while someone is talking to you, or talking not to you, but maybe in a video, and you're listening, you may, after that, you may come up with the conclusion. You may try to understand that what was he saying or she saying. This is called, you may improve your comprehension. This is how you comprehend that all the paragraphs, or all the conversations. clear, or you need some examples?
Sir, it's
Okay.
clear.
Sir, please give some example of this.
Okay, Javaria, thank you for asking question. I'm happy that someone other than Sayyida Asina, that someone unmuted the microphone. That's good. You are from which area? I would like to know about it.
Sir, I am from Parachinar also,
Okay.
but currently I am in Rawalpindi.
Right.
So, yes.
Okay. I would like to know what was your question.
Sir, like you explain the point, and I would like to link with some example.
Okay. And what do you remember? What was the point? The point was, okay, I'm not going to tell you it. I'm not going to drag you to the this thing, inshallah. So skipping listening practice when learning English, was that the point, or it was something else?
No, sir. Sir, you are telling about that. Listen to your native
Yes, that was the point.
speaker.
Yes, that was the heading of the, you may say, the main thing, or I don't know what the word is for that, specific word for that, like skipping listening practice, like listening to native speaker is crucial, right? This was the thing I was trying to tell you. Okay, I'm going to give you some example for that, and I'm going to make you understand in a very depth, inshallah, and I hope you will understand. You know, listening, if you are going to skip listening, and echo is again there. Sayyida Narjis, would you please mute your microphone? It will be helpful for us. Okay, that's good. Okay, so you know, if you are going to skip the listening practice when learning English, so it may have a several, like, it's, you may have a different obstacles for that, like poor pronunciations. Without listening like practice, you may develop a poor pronunciation habit, because you won't be exposed to the correct sound and intonation of English. If you are only if you only read the words without hearing them, you might mispronounce it. I have just got a notification that you have to, I'm gonna like disconnect this call. So then I want you to, this will be the part one. So I want to go with the part two. So would you please join us with the same link again?
Sure,
Join us
sir.
again. Join me again with the same link for a while, because I want to divide it into the two parts, and also the timing is about to end.